Hello, Matt Sharp here with Sharp Pool Creations in Phoenix, Arizona. Wanted to talk to you about remodeling a pool and a contingency that you may run into when remodeling your pool. Specifically, I wanted to talk to you about the topic of brown coating your pool shell. The necessity or need to brown coat your pool shell is often unknown until the old pool finish, namely plaster or your pebble surface, is removed and the pool shell itself can be visually inspected. The process of brown coating your pool involves shooting concrete onto the pool shell under high pressure for proper concrete adhesion as well as proper concrete density. This process is known as Shotcrete. The purpose of a brown coat is to thicken your pool shell and/or provide additional concrete coverage over a deteriorated pool shell with exposed or rusted rebar, as you can see here next to me. Upon removing the old surface, we visit your pool in order to inspect the condition of the pool shell as well as to look for exposed or rusted rebar. As you can visually see with this pool shell, there are numerous areas of exposed and rusted rebar. This can occur for many reasons. One reason could be that when the pool shell was originally shot with Shotcrete, there may have been inadequate coverage of Shotcrete over the rebar in the pool. Another common cause of exposed rebar is that a pool may have been resurfaced or remodeled multiple times. Each time a pool is remodeled, some of the pool shell is inevitably chipped away with the old interior finish. So if your rebar's here and your shell's here, each time you chip away the pool, you're going to get the rebar closer to the surface. If we have rusted or exposed rebar, what we want to do is a brown coat, which is going to provide additional coverage over that rebar to prevent rusting and deterioration in the future. Depending on the extent of the rusting, one of the solutions may be to simply spray the rusted rebar with a rust inhibitive paint. If it's really bad and the rebar is severely corroded, then our solution would be to simply cut the rebar out and then proceed with our brown coat. A little education on Shotcrete. The standard Shotcrete strength in Arizona is 3,000 PSI. At 3,000 PSI, the concrete isn't quite dense enough to make the shell waterproof, so inevitably water can penetrate the pool shell and find the rebar, which is what you see here. In addition, PebbleTech or pebble surfaces and plaster are watertight, but they're not waterproof. So water finds its way through the pebble surface or the plaster and eventually finds its way to the pool shell. If the pool shell is not dense enough, it will rust or deteriorate the rebar. Now, with a Shotcrete strength of 4,000 PSI, you're getting closer to the shell actually being waterproof or closer to waterproof to where it's a lot harder for the water to penetrate that shell and rust the rebar. So again, in this pool, you can see many areas where the rebar is compromised. In this case, we're going to cut this rusted rebar out in most of these areas before proceeding with our brown coat. Now, when we do the Shotcrete on the pool shell, we do allow, we set up a sprinkler in the pool, we set it up on a timer so it comes on multiple times a day. And that way the shell is consistently saturated with water, which does a couple things. It actually strengthens the Shotcrete by slowing down the curing process of the concrete. When concrete's curing, it gets very hot, so by keeping it wet, it actually cools the concrete, keeps the temperature stable, which ultimately leads to a stronger shell and stronger Shotcrete. I hope this was a little educational to show you what possibly could occur when you're doing a pool remodel and so that you know what to expect and what to look for, and the reason that it's necessary to do a brown coat, as you can see here next to me. Thank you very much for watching. We appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you on your next remodel.